So when you think about Tajikistan, what comes to mind? Maybe something like that? Well, actually, it's a bit more like this. And so, my friends, welcome to Dushanbe, Tajikistan. And today I want to take you with me and show you a little bit how life could look like on the ground in a post-Soviet nation in Central Asia. Always a little bit under the theme of cost of living. So Got a World to See stands for building a life of freedom around the world. And what I like to do is sometimes when I'm in a certain part of the world to choose a location where I spend a little bit more time and rather live there than just travel. So what type of life you could be living here, let's say, on somewhat of a budget of maybe, let's say, $1,000, or how much $100 can get you here, from groceries to apartments to getting around, taxis. And I have to tell you, out of all the Central Asian countries I've visited yet, there's videos coming. There's some crazy videos coming. I've been to Afghanistan, I just came back from there. So Dushanbe has been for me a little bit of a base. And I'm gonna be very honest with you. For some people, this place is completely out of question. You can only travel here, you can only stay a couple of days because of one big drawback that hopefully they will fix in the future. So we'll talk about that as well. But on the other hand, the city surprised me in many ways. They're building a lot. There's electrical cars everywhere. Live a couple of weeks in Tajikistan. Actually, by GDP, the lowest country in the region. But honestly, you don't feel that. You don't. Let me show you. Made friends. Nice.
A little Tajik friend, super friendly.
Okay guys, and also to give you a different idea of Dushanbe, when I was coming I was thinking like, hey, it's probably like old post-Soviet Union style, most of the places. But I was quite a bit wrong, because there's a couple of streets, some look like, you know, big squares, old squares, but some on the other hand actually two streets, one that's leading to the parliament and the other one kind of to the airport. Very long streets full of nice shops, new buildings. Like right now we're looking at some type of Bon Appetit Patisserie and Cafe. Let's go, let's check it out. Maybe have a little coffee. And just to give you an idea of this area, basically in terms of grocery stores, my favorite in Central Asia so far, super well stocked. They pretty much import from all the neighboring countries, so they have like products from like at least 5 countries. Good food, good prices, you have seen it. Let's check it out. Wow, that's extra fancy. Bakery. So as you see, they're like this kind of like somewhat pastel colors. Soft furniture is the thing that keeps running through. Coffee? Здравствуйте. Shakshuka?
Shakshuka?
Да, она с хлебом? Можно с хлебом? Окей, спасибо, все. You said it's good?
Yeah, it's like Kyiv level quality.
Wow. Вам тоже. Спасибо. So, nice cafe, sat there a little bit, used their Wi-Fi as best as it can be used. It was run as good as it can be run. Let me take you a little bit through, I would say, my favorite part of Dushanbe. Most of the time I've actually spent around the parliament, but that's the more old school area. Old school park is nice little post-Soviet vibe. But here is actually quite livable, like you see. Nice cafes, quality of food was actually better than expected. This is the first time we tried a little bit something fancy, because mostly going local, kind of like buying a local bread, which costs like 50 cents, eating in a local restaurants, which is, I don't know, $2-3 for, I would say, a meal, mante, some soup, something like that, maybe some kebabs. But there, little shakshuka, I think it was $4. Coffee was a little bit under 3, so definitely a little bit higher, but quality was there, so pretty good, still very good. And just to give you an idea of this area, all the way you walk back, I'll show you a little bit of B-roll right now. Nice shops. Most of the restaurants I tried, like some Arabic fancy, didn't like it that much. It's kind of like, you know, I'd rather go local, tastes better. I have to talk a little bit the transportation situation, and usually I would just stick to a taxi app. They don't have it. This is probably the only and second drawback of Dushanbe, is that there's some taxi app where a taxi never comes, nobody takes your order. Maybe I haven't figured it out, I don't know. And the local taxis, sometimes you can catch them, but most of the time they have a guest, so you have to manually give them a call. Once I called, we waited for 5 to 10 minutes, then we catched one on the street. I'm sorry if I wasn't there. but it's a bit complicated. But the taxis are very cheap actually. All throughout town, it starts at 10 samoni, which is $1, and then if you drive for like 15 minutes, you end up paying maybe 2. So very affordable taxis. They're all new and shiny from China. Most of the taxis are electric here. Join me. I'm gonna show you the apartment. Right now I'm gonna walk to the supermarket, get a couple of groceries for a few days, give you an idea of how that looks. A couple of days ago, bought a SIM card, 50 gigabyte, cost me $12 or something. Gotta say, the connection here is not the best. Out of the way, one of the worst actually, but you can work around it. It works. Let's go. Let's go to the supermarket.
Let's go.
Happy kid. So, hope they're gonna not mind me filming. Poi car. So as you see, they always have like a huge fruits and vegetable selection. Yes, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. They look good, right?
Yeah.
So like some local mushrooms, we've been looking at $2.50, and look at that, it's a lot of them. So fruit, vegetables for the most part, really affordable. Melon, we're looking at 30 cents a kilo. I don't know if that is kind of like the price we had before, but basically we bought this size of melons for pretty much $2. This country is famous for melons. Some people say it's kind of like the best in the world. It could be, honestly. The melon I've had here was super good, and like I said before, the supermarket, very modern and so much selection. This is the ice cream section. They got their own, like, this is absolutely hilarious. They have a Soviet Union ice cream. This is insane. It's just marketing. But fuck me. Oh man. Huge meat section in the back. Let me take you there. This is what I'm really interested in. Get some beef. It's a majority Muslim nation. Like, it's secular. You don't really feel it too much on the ground. Like, pretty much no restrictions in terms of that. But the good thing for me, they don't sell pork. I'm not a big fan. I like my beef. I like my lamb. Some chicken if it's just about the proteins. And here we're looking at a kilo of ground beef. $8. A kilo of basically beef soft fillets. $10, $12 for a whole kilo, so pretty much half of what you would pay in Europe. And I think the quality is just so much better. So we're gonna get some of that, and then let's meet at home. And I'm gonna, before we live in a bread nation, this cost 30 cents, super soft, right?
Yeah.
Fresh. Wow, this is good.
This one is
Seriously.
cool.
So basically they make them in a traditional way, even in the supermarket. I saw them making actually in the village on the street. But basically they do it with like this oven there. They kind of like put the bread inside, and yeah. And a bunch of protein products they're selling here as well.
Yeah, they
No
are
sugar,
crazy good. This
cookies.
one. And this one.
$1, good price.
Они сами идентифицируют его.
Wow, it identifies itself what it is, huh? Wow, and all of that for like a little bit over $1.
Yes.
$2. Guys, this is why I book a $500 flight to go to Asia, to avoid $5 coconuts. You gotta be reasonable. How's it going here?
Terrible.
The average male grip strength is 16 times higher. Look it up. So we got back from the supermarket. I mean, not too crazy. This is what I'm estimating for like 2-3 days. One thing I can tell you is I'm always sticking to local products for 2 reasons. Number one, it's from the region, no transport, usually also, especially in countries like that. Most likely, fairly, like, let's say, natural. Grapes, $1. How much is the bread? Like 50 cents, huge bread, something like that. Melon, $2, as I told you. And I love these like little, what are they called here? Basically, it's like eggs from like smaller birds. Supposed to be also more nutritious. Tried this ice cream before, it's absolutely amazing. Cost like 70 cents, this whole thing. And this ice cream is an absolute abomination. SSSR, Soviet Union ice cream. I think I showed you before. Here, made in Dushanbe, so local product, and it's kind of like a joke product, you know? It's hilarious humor. Got these protein products, super cool, super nice, kind of like a little
Cake.
Yeah, a little cake. So like really a variety of products as well. Also they got
Crazy good.
And speaking of cost of living, I gotta tell you, before coming to Tajikistan, I was a bit concerned. Old school city, I'm thinking, and in many ways I was right. I think I mentioned it before, a lot of things have been built in the last couple of years. Fairly new building here, right by the city center, moved into the apartment just now. There's the pretty much main square, and I gotta tell you, this is the second apartment in Dushanbe. The first one I didn't film because it was atrocious. It was not good. It looked good, but it was completely like, it looked like somebody said like one big shisha party in there, everything burned down, and I paid 40 bucks for it. And I've even negotiated it down from like 52 or something. I always like to negotiate a little bit. I don't know. Whatever the price it is, if it's 80, 100, you just gotta get 10 off down. Thing is, little secret. Airbnb is gonna hate me for it, but I do text them directly. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is the street? I'm gonna roll up. Let's, you know. Lisa always like, this is a $33 apartment. With service fee would be like around 40, but okay, Airbnb is gonna block all my accounts now, I think, but guys, check this out. So nothing special, but I think it always depends on how they clean and maintain it. Super clean, super neat. This is the bedroom. So I would say it's around like 50 square meters. And considering we're right in a city center, everything is super, absolutely beautifully clean. For a couple of days, we got all the cooking, we got a wash machine, we got a sink, big fridge. Hopefully the Wi-Fi here is gonna be good, at least better than in other places. For me, very important to have like some type of table, as you see, just moved in. Wash machine, great to have, wash a couple of things, and pretty big, no, not big, got like a mini bathtub. You can do a sitting spa session, let's say like that. So nothing special, but considering we're super central, I saw lots of nice apartments in Dushanbe in the price range of 30 to 60 bucks. And like I said, you don't always get what you pay for, unfortunately. Have to have a bit of an eye for it. Sometimes I find great deals depending on the part of the world. Obviously, when I'm in this part, I'm thinking like the budget is up to $50. You can get a good, really 50 to 70 square meters, sometimes even huge apartments actually. Almost booked a 3-bedroom, but this one seemed a little bit better value and I was right about it. So yeah, you can, for 30 bucks, right in the city center, not bad, really good. So let me give you another idea of an apartment in Dushanbe. This one I gotta say, yeah, really bit of a different level. So 50 bucks a night without service fee. If you book it directly, I say like that. It's, I would say, around 60 square meters, not huge, but actually feels fairly large. This is the living area, super fancy in one of the newer buildings, big TV. This has been the working table there in the back. Wi-Fi better than usual, but somehow I had a like power outage here. Wi-Fi was out obviously as well, but still pretty good. Nice bathroom, got a big busy kitchen, some bread, some veggies. Like I always say, having an apartment, especially when fast traveling, maybe twice a month, so washing up, cooking. This is the bedroom, a little bit messy right now, but you get the idea. Once again, huge TV, nice big bed, a little bit too hard honestly, but still super nice. I would say the value is great. 50 bucks a night, negotiated a little bit, extended one more night for 40, but yeah, good value. Not like globally speaking, probably still Southeast Asia is like a good bit better, but for Central Asia and generally straight up in the city center, let's eat. So this is what 50 bucks a night gets you in Dushanbe. Alrighty guys, and while we're at it, let me definitely tell you about another essential, especially when it comes to remote living and traveling, is to stay on the safe side. You never know what might happen if you get sick or injured, if you eat the wrong thing. So for that, I personally recommend Safety Wing Travel Medical Insurance. What makes them really different for me is that next to covering most of the emergency things that might happen, is how flexible it is to use them. If you're going for a 1-week trip, you can get the insurance for a week. If you need it for a month, do it for a month. And if you want to do it long term, you can do that as well. Basically cancel at any moment. They have a 24/7 support hotline if something happens, you want to report something, or if you just have any questions. And next to that, it's not just if you get sick or injured. There's also things like delays in the airport, if your luggage gets lost. So also like if something bad happens, they cover the flights back home. So make sure to just click the link, check it out. For basically a couple of dollars a day, it's, for me, the easiest, the most flexible option. They cover you in over 180 different countries, up to $250,000, and it literally takes a couple of minutes to set up. If you're planning a trip, just click the link, check them out. But even if you're already on the road, this is another thing that makes them special. If you're already traveling right now, you're like, hey, probably would be better to, you know, insure myself a little bit to stay on the safe side. You can do that as well. So even if you already left home, you can sign up SafetyWing. It takes literally 5 minutes and you're on the safe side. So with that, let's hop back into Dushanbe. They're really doing stuff still their own way. Like here's a fresh bakery. They're doing their bread inside there. Wow, guys. And it's warm. It's fresh. Hello. Should we get one? Hello. Один. Есть теплый? Теплый вот такой? Да. Теплый. Можно? Can I? Иду. Wow. Now that's what I call теплый. There's like an oven there, fire burning. There's the buns being made. And here's the sales space.
Hot.
No, that's hot.
Five.
No. Thank you. And this one's for you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. To a nice barber shop. Just look up on Google Maps. I'm like, look at this. Definitely can use the cut. So just check it out. Look good on Google Maps. Well, but the sunset of one of the main streets.
Yeah.
Perfect. Здрасте. На 6 мы записаны, я записан.
6, да?
Да, вроде так.
Запись.
Да, чуть-чуть. Да. Nice shop. Well, unexpectedly, super nice gym. So just as a little, let's say, side note, Tajikistan became a base kind of like by the fact of arriving here in Central Asia, going to Uzbekistan, leaving some things here, coming back here, and going to Afghanistan. Guys, content is coming you cannot even imagine. I had all my traditional clothing. Here I'm having post-Soviet Union traditional clothing for the gym, but no. To wait for it, like the content. Oof. This gym, day pass, I thought it was a little bit expensive when I first heard it for this part of the world. $7 for men, $5 for the ladies. I mean, they even have more space around here. This is what it is, boys. All hammer strength machines. And it's a Sunday today, so it looks like everybody's staying at home. They're not even blasting music, which I love. I have my own. Absolutely love it. And even the day pass, $7. A month is here $60. And if you go for 3 months, it's $40. So this is like one of the more expensive gyms. I also checked out the local one. It was only like 30 some only, a little bit less than $3. Let's work out, and let me just tell you the thing. When I choose a place where to spend more time, it's probably 3 factors: cost of accommodation, Wi-Fi, and the gyms, the quality as well as the prices. And considering the quality, this would be like an absolute top-notch luxury gym. And honestly, my whole perspective probably of Dushanbe went up when I realized it's a local chain. So they have 3 locations of it. And this is, let's say, the fitness life in Dushanbe. You can go very local, very affordable, or like a Western price, but the level of gyms, awesome. It's brand new pretty much. But now I want to go also a bit more local, so for that I'm right now figuring out my taxi app. I need a local number. I have one, but I don't know it. So I'm gonna stop by a T-Cell shop where we bought the SIM card, figure that out. And the very interesting thing is actually that the city is full of electronic taxis. Look at that. They got number 1, number 2, number 3. They're absolutely everywhere, and it's mostly BYD, Build Your Dreams, Chinese. It's funny how they called it, but Chinese EVs. Most of the taxis are like that. We could catch a taxi, but I want to set up the taxi app, which you also figured that out to make things easier. So let's go. Oh, and little shops here. Nice.
Cat.
Oh, cat. Not many cats here, not like Baku.
No.
Couple. Here's some fresh sambusas. Coffee for 3 samoni, which is like 30 cents. Okay, that's it. So we just figured out in a random shop. Any local obviously can tell you how you find out your own number, but all right, next stop, taxi app. So let's figure out the taxi app. All right. So my dear, are you getting for taxi or just hitchhiking?
Something like that.
I think we could travel all across the world with you looking like that. Guys, what's wrong? Stop. Please.
Take me home.
I think I have to hide.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. First guy. 5 guys, to be fair, in one car. Shared taxi.
Shared taxi.
So got this shared taxi. I'm not sure if we underpaid or overpaid the guy. Did he look like it was normal?
Yeah.
It was like $3. I was thinking it's like $3 for one person or 2. If it's for 2, it's quite all right. So we caught it, kind of like a shared taxi thing, to make it to the bus station. Want to check out the options to get to Uzbekistan from here. And actually, it's a really nice bus station, really new. Got all kinds of stuff here. Let's see, Aviakassa. So just asked, the bus actually is leaving every day, but you cannot buy the tickets in advance. But another thing why I sometimes like to make sure, double check on my routes, just stop by the local, what is it here, bus station, is just because you get into the local life. Like, we're quite far outside of the city center, vibes a bit different, people are a bit different. Just talk to the guy. He actually did not speak Russian. Most people do here. His English was actually pretty good. And I think that is going to be us tomorrow, one of those little Asian Express babies.
Yeah.
It's actually quite funky. Maybe we can ask one of the drivers. Guvnada, Saudauri. Спросим. Добрый вечер. А вы знаете автобус в границу с Узбекистаном? Самарканд. Завтра будет?
Да.
Знаете, во сколько он?
Часов 6:30-7 приходите сюда.
Вот здесь он останавливается, да? Окей.
Такой маленький автобус.
And so, behind the bus station. That's really cool. Now that's what I call a local bazaar. selling fruits, selling veggies, and the best thing is like really like a vibe. You feel it. We're a good like 20-minute drive. If I can screen at that. A good 20-minute drive outside of the city, and it feels very different. Like here you catch actually some eyes, some like more attention than you usually would in Dushanbe. Nobody really cares about you filming around. Here we're probably like first people this year visiting. I mean, to be fair, it's a bus station, so probably still decent amount. Fruits look amazing. Here they got the bread. Let's go check out their bread. Yeah, but he knows he's a blogger, yeah. So look at that. We got like nice bread. Seems like the man will tell everybody now. He's the security man. Yo, vloggers coming to town. So here making some carrots right here. That's so interesting actually. Wow. Hello. There's an onion section in the market by itself. But yeah, I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
A little bit, yeah.
Let's check out what they're selling around here. So guys, we made our way to some kind of local food stand. Looks really good. I think gonna be having late lunch, early dinner over here. Basically some things are already prepared. Some things you can order probably, so let's go inside, maybe sit down. I think this is their national, what is it called?
Sambusa?
Yeah, I think so. Come.
Гриль один.
Хочешь суп?
Давай, шурбо?
No?
No шурбо?
You think it's not ready yet? So guys, we are as local as it gets. Behind the station, honestly, I would say there's not many people visiting here right now because the reactions is completely different than in the city center. With that also, the prices. I think the dumplings here are like $1.50, the cheese like 50 cents, 20 cents. What is this? Sambusa?
Sambusa, samosa, I don't know.
Nice. And so I hope you enjoyed today's little insight. In case you're new here by any chance, like I mentioned in the beginning, got a world to see is on the one side about, yes, traveling, adventure, seeing some corners of the world that not many people get to see. But even more so, I always look for a location to stay a bit longer. So really the biggest drawback of Tajikistan as of right now is the fact that the Wi-Fi here is one of the worst I've ever experienced. I think it's connected to the fact that it's kind of mountainous. I've heard they're actually getting their internet provider from outside. Somehow, I don't know exactly. The data is even a little bit better, which is fairly affordable. And on the other hand, the city is building so much that if you get a bit unlucky, you might be staying next to a huge construction. But that makes me really excited actually to come back here in 5 to 10 years, because here, this is the past, a little bit Soviet Union style. Here, already a little bit something newer. But most of the city, I would say more than half, has been just built in the last 10 years, which is great to see, which is nice to see. The city is clean, the city is definitely very safe. But at the same time, it feels fairly free. Like nobody has bothered me for filming. There was no like overly like security checks or anything like that, but you see and feel on the street that safety is definitely provided here. And also from the fact that you would think, okay, let's say economy is lower than most of the neighboring nations, and you see that when you go out, and what you see is actually very old, very traditional way of living, which is actually really cool and somewhat heartwarming to see people doing farming, agriculture. But Dushanbe is growing, and check it out. Check out the other videos from this part of the world soon on the channel. Or videos from Afghanistan coming. And I thought it would be an adventure, but the adventure that I got myself into, I didn't expect. Seriously, I filmed a lot while I was in this part of the world. Everything is coming very soon. So if you want to see where I am right now, join me on Instagram. And with that, you too got a world to see.